Welcome to the studio. You're listening to Willow Waves, a student-produced podcast where kindergarten through 6th graders explore interests, promote solutions to global concerns, and communicate about everything related to our social and emotional learning.
We aim to amplify voices, share knowledge, and encourage conversations. Visit us at willowspringses.fcps.edu to learn more and subscribe.
Join us as we explore our diverse and dynamic world of elementary education.
Have you ever gone outside in the middle of summer and been struck by the heat of a blazing sun? Well, that sun could save us by 2030, only if the world goes solar.
Rachel Carson Middle School has been placing solar panels on many schools such as ours.
We, Taha,
Willow, and Jacob
have teamed up with the man of the cause, Kurt Treacle, to get the whole community to go solar. 8th graders created the Going Green Club and made our community better.
But that's not the end.
It is only a small step to a great difference.
How's everybody doing today?
We're doing good. Great.
Great. Well, I'm Mr. Treacle. What are your names?
Jacob,
Theo.
Oh, okay. You're the ones who sent me the email questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to answer any questions that I can for you, and I'm so glad you're studying this and considering a project.
Okay. How did the idea for the Going Green Club start?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I spent a lot of time outside with scouts and family vacations and playing in the woods and stuff like that, and that just instilled a love of nature and the environment in me, and that led to me sponsoring environmental clubs throughout my career as a teacher and now a librarian.
Oh wow, so it's like a long story type of thing.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time.
I would agree because I'm also a Boy Scout too.
Oh, great.
I currently just finished my crossover to the Boy Scout.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts, or
Yeah.
what? Okay, congratulations.
What made your group decide to take on such an ambitious goal of getting the school to go solar?
Well, I used to teach 8th grade science and some other science courses in middle and high school, but at this school, 8th grade science. And they used to actually have the SOL test earlier in the spring than they do now. And so there was time after the SOL test to do a special project. And so we would do a project I called Enviromania, and students would break off into groups in topics they were interested in. And so we had a lot of students that were interested in solar energy and mostly in photovoltaic, turning light into electricity. And so what we did was we formed a mega group from smaller groups in each of my 5 periods. So there was about 15, 16 students from the 5 classes combined that were really interested in solar energy. And so they, someone had the idea, and we knew it would be a long-term project, and it actually didn't. So the group started on the project in like late April of one school year. Like, say you guys are in 5th grade, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say you started it in a month from now. It wasn't finished until November, December of when you guys will be in 7th grade. So that's how long it took to complete. So there were a lot of ups and downs and a lot of approvals, and we did a lot of fundraising, but the students that spring really got the ball rolling and raised most of the money. And then another group the next year continued the process until it was complete the following fall.
That's a long time.
That must require a lot of work. You could do that.
Well, now, you probably already know that Fairfax County is installing solar panels on some of their schools. I think Annandale might be Annandale High School may be the first one. They've been working through, getting companies to do bids and all the approvals and the school board and all that for a couple years now. And they finally got it finalized. And so I think Annandale High School, either they're putting them on right now or they're just about to, or maybe they've already finished. But there's a list of schools that they assess different schools around the county and looked at their rooftops and different features, and they came up with a list of schools. So they're already doing it to, I think the list is between 20 and 40 schools long. So because of that, it may be easier or shorter time frame than when we did it, because when we did it, only one other school in Fairfax County had solar panels, and that was TJ, Thomas Jefferson High School. And so it required a lot of special approvals from the branch of FCPS, Fairfax County Public Schools, called Facilities. Facilities is the branch that deals with like new construction or renovation or any kind of permanent feature that you're going to build or do on a school. It has to be approved by that branch, and they would manage the construction, even if the construction is done by outside vendors. But now that they've approved a couple solar companies to be vendors, it may be a simpler process or a shorter process than when we did it.
I wonder if our school maybe.
Yeah, you should be able to find that list, and I can. I don't have it at my fingertips now, but I can provide you or your teacher with some contact information to find that list of the first set of schools that are planned to get solar panels.
What would you say was the most important step to get solar panels for your school?
Could you repeat that, please?
What would you say was the most important step to get solar panels for your school?
I think the most important step to do anything big at your school, a permanent change like that, is to get your principal's support. So you have to convince your principal, do a little presentation with your principal to get their backing, get their support, get their agreement to move forward with the project, because without the principal's approval, it's not going to go anywhere. So I think that's the most important preliminary step. Now, of course, you should gather information before you go to your principal, because you want to have all your ducks in a row before you go to the principal and be able to answer as many questions as you think they might have as many facts, data, estimates, etc. And then if they approve it, then you go to the next step and do your fundraising, and then you have to get it approved by the department I mentioned earlier, Facilities. And you do that by getting the principal's secretary to fill out what's called a DC 407 form. And that would alert them that you're planning to do the project, and they would work with you from there on out.
That makes sense because other people in our class who are doing the project just like us, some of them are like putting like white paint on the roof so it protects the roof and just makes it doesn't get as hot.
That's an excellent idea. I'd love to know how that project turns out.
Okay, we could probably send you an email for like some stuff. How did the solar panels affect your school?
Well, we've had them now for over 10 years, and luckily we were able to get a location approved that is protected from potential vandalism because it's not visible from the outside of the school, but it is visible to students who are walking down this long hallway with big windows that look out on our courtyard because it's on the roof of the art rooms on the other side of the courtyard. And so I think that's important, if possible, for the solar panels to be visible to the students, to the school community, to make it less abstract. And then we have a data logger, which I don't know if you've seen that. Have you gone to our school's website and accessed the solar information?
No.
No?
I did see
I don't know.
down.
I don't know if I'm able to share, if you have it set up to give me rights permission to share my screen, but if you do, I could pull that up and share that with you right now, or I could send you the link. It's up to you.
We have our teacher's permission to do that. I don't really know.
I think it's in the settings for the Zoom call to allow me to share the screen. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab some websites and put them in the chat here for you. Anyway, we have a data logger, which is actually you go to our RCMS school website. You click on the library tab, scroll way down, click on solar panels, and then there's some writing there about the history of the solar panels, and then there's a button that says access our data logger, and from there you get to a screen that shows the solar panels, and it's very interactive, and you can look at any day from today going back 12 years, and for each day you can look at different information about how much electricity was produced, how long that would run a refrigerator or a light bulb, or different things like that, how many batteries it's equivalent to, for how many months it would charge your cell phone, and so forth. So I'm going to pop that into the chat here so you can have that, and I'll send all these links to your teacher as well. Let me see.
Solar panels are like probably as old as me.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Oh, chat disabled. Okay. So I'll send that link to your teacher, and you can explore that. But you can really it's very interactive, so you can click on different buttons and see different things. So play around with it. And I wanted to also mention, and you may already be aware of this. So the process I described, that's very detailed and in-depth, and takes you have to raise the money and get special permission from facilities and on and on. But there is a program for schools that through Dominion Power, it's called Solar for Schools, I think, and I'll send the link to your teacher, and you apply for that, and if you get that, they provide you with, I think it's 4 small solar panels on a pole outside your school that's visible to everybody, and you can also have a data logger with that to see how much power it's producing. And some schools in Fairfax County have that. So I would highly recommend that as one option as well.
Wow. We definitely have to go. What challenges got in your way while trying to get solar panels for the school?
Well, we had to raise the money, so that took a while. We raised it all from grants. The school didn't pay for any of the money. No taxpayers paid for any of the money. It was all from outside grants. The PTA did help us. That's a potential source of funding. If you present to them, that's a possibility, your school's PTA. But mostly from corporations that do grants, that have grants for education or for the environment. And I'll also send your teachers some possibilities there. Also, Dominion Power, which I just mentioned, they have the solar for schools. They also have environmental grants for schools. So we got some of our funding from them and some from other organizations. It was also a little touch and go with getting the project approved by facilities. When you put solar panels on a public building like a school, it is more costly than putting them on a home because the code for a school is much more stringent because of safety concerns than on a home. And so we had to spend a lot more to have the roof retrofitted to do that, to have those put up there. They have to withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds and hail and all kinds of other things.
So it's like pretty complicated.
It's pretty complicated.
Did any of the 8th graders help raise funds for the project?
Oh yeah, the students helped with the grant applications. The teachers have to actually send those in, send in the paperwork or through the computer these days. But students presented to the school PTA. I think we got $3,500 from the school PTA for our project. So yeah, the students were very involved.
Have you helped other schools go solar?
We have had a couple schools, just like you guys are now, come and interview us or ask questions, get information. Some other principals and teachers who are interested have visited, and I've emailed info to other people who have asked that way. I don't know for a fact if any of those schools actually ended up getting it or not. I hope that some of them did.
Wow, I hope too.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Going Green Club funding other things too?
Yeah, we've been very active in a lot of environmental projects. We've funded, we've raised the funds to put 4 different water bottle refillers, water fountains that are also water bottle refillers, to encourage students to use their water bottles rather than the, single use, use this instead of the plastic water bottle that you just use once, because the data is showing us that most of those water bottles, even though they're recyclable, aren't getting recycled. And as you guys know, plastic pollution is a huge problem. We installed a rain garden on our school grounds to slow down the sedimentation and the runoff to Horsepen Creek, which is our local creek, and also to attract pollinators and support other native wildlife. Planted several other gardens with native perennial plants. Planted hundreds and hundreds of native trees on our campus, and put in a rain barrel and a few other things.
Wait, I think.
Oh, we have a food sharing program too in our cafeteria. Do you guys have that? Where if you, let's say you have a milk that you never open, you can put it in there to go to the homeless shelter. Do you guys know?
Well,
No, that's another thing.
And what's a rain garden?
It's a garden in an area like a little ravine where we dug down and we put in a special soil that the water when it rains real hard, the water runs off from, in our case, a basketball court and a field. And normally that area used to get eroded, and so it would carry sediment and any pollutants off the basketball court, because sometimes it's used for parking cars and they drip different oil and things, and that would go straight to the creek. But now with the rain garden, after heavy rains, the garden itself holds the water, and then it leaves to the creek very gradually, and it filters out a lot of those pollutants. And it also is completely native plants, and so that attracts monarch butterflies, all kinds of other beneficial insects, birds, other native wildlife, and it's beautiful too. So that's nice.
I'm pretty sure I do know, because I used to live in that area and I was going to go to Rachel Carson Middle School, and so I remember there was a creek behind my house.
Okay, right. That was probably Horsepin Creek.
My sister would love to hear about this. She loves animals.
Oh, great. Well, come by and visit anytime.
How many solar panels have you bought?
Our project was 11 panels, and each panel I think was 235 watts. And again, you can see that on the data logger.
That's pretty good.
Okay, well, we're out of questions.
Okay. Well, great. Nice to meet you guys. And I'm so happy that you're doing this project. And if, like I said, I'll send your teacher a bunch of links that she can share with you. And if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to meet with you again, or you can send questions by email. Really love to support you in any way I can with the project. And if you hit a roadblock, which you will, don't give up. Be persistent. Okay?
Well,
Bye.
I guess it's goodbye.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.